Welcome to Barbecue Safety with Coolidge Fire Department. My name is Chief Dillon, and today we're going to be talking about barbecue safety. This is something that you probably don't give a whole lot of thought to, but it's something that's very important during the warmer months of the year here. On average, about 8,000 homes catch on fire because of grills every year. 86% of households in the U.S. own at least one outdoor barbecue grill or smoker, and about 60 of those are gas grills. On average, there are about 15,000 patients who go to the ER because of injuries involving grills, and over 7,000 of those are thermal burns. Thermal burns meaning you were burned with the grill, either the flame or touching the grill. Annually, grills account for about 10 civilian deaths. Doesn't seem like a whole lot of deaths, but this is a pretty fun activity. This is a pretty relatively safe activity, but still people die from it. Approximately $90 million in direct property damage is attributed to grilling and barbecuing every year. Let's not have your house be one of those statistics. Okay, July is the peak month for grill fires, followed by May, June, and August. So you can see that as soon as we start getting warm, everybody wants to get outside and cook. So, and it's a great idea. I do it all the time. You do it all the time. Everybody does it. But according to the NFPA, flammable or combustible gas or liquid was the first item ignited in half of the outdoor grill fires, meaning that whatever you use to power your grill is what first got ignited. One of every 6 home structure fires in which grills were involved in the ignition, something that could catch fire was too close to the grill. So what we do is we see a pattern here as people are outside grilling, they're having fun, they're drinking whatever beverage you like to drink. When you do that, a lot of times the placement of your grill is usually going to be the problem. It's not the grill you're using, it's not what you're grilling, it's where you put your grill. Overall, leaks or breaks were factors in 1 of every 5 reported grill fires, meaning the grill mechanism, the grill infrastructure was poor. You had leaky hoses, the propane tank was leaking, you had a bad burner. Gas grills contribute to a higher number of home fires than their other charcoal counterparts. And what we're going to do is we're going to concentrate on the gas grills today, but we'll also touch on the charcoal portion too. Children under 5 accounted for 1,700 or 37% of the 4,500 thermal non-fire grill burns. These were typically contact burns rather than flame burns. So what we're talking about here is when kids are outside playing and you're outside grilling and everybody's having a great time, kids, out of the thermal burns, 37% of those were kids that went up and weren't burned by an exploding grill or exploding propane tank. They just came up and touched the grill. They wanted to help you. They wanted to help you cook. They wanted to see what you were doing. And what was happening is kids were coming up and getting too close to the grill, because you got to think when you start a barbecue, there's no part of that barbecue that is not going to be warm. You're basically starting a fire in a big metal container, so every part of that metal is going to be hot. So you want to try to keep your kids as far away as possible. Okay, grill facts. Here's some leading areas of origin. Out of all the home fires and all the fires that we've seen, about 29% of them are on an exterior balcony or open porch. Okay, that's where if you live in an apartment complex, you want to grill out, you put it on your balcony. If you're outside, you put it on your porch. A lot of times this is exactly where you're going to catch your house on fire. 27% were in a courtyard, terrace, or patio. Then you had a cooking or kitchen area, something, maybe you set your grill right up against the exterior wall of your house because maybe you don't have a really big porch and you got to put it up against the house. You have to pull it away from the house, because what is that house? That house is combustible, and you're starting a fire right next to it. Okay, grills manufactured after October 1st, 1995 are required to have 3 additional safety features to eliminate leak hazards. And we're talking about gas grills here. It's, one of the safety features is a device to limit the flow of gas in the event a hose ruptures. A mechanism to shut off the grill, and a feature to prevent flow of gas to the connection between the tank and the grill if it is not leak proof. Okay, so when you're purchasing a grill, this is something you want to look for, is look for these extra safety features. Because what you're talking about doing is taking a big compressed bottle and putting it in your grill and then starting a fire right on top of it. Okay, so you want to have these safety features in your next grill. Here's some safety facts. In December 2012, Hannah Storm, which some of you guys know if you've ever watched ESPN, she's an ESPN commentator, was badly burned while preparing to cook for her children. What happened is she went outside, she started the gas grill, the wind blew out the flame, the propane gas pooled in the grill and basically just sat there. And when she attempted to reignite it, basically it blew up in her face. Ended up saving her eyes, but she had face, neck, chest, and hands suffered 1st and 2nd degree burns. So what happens if you're starting your gas grill and the wind blows out? We're gonna get to that, but the best thing to do is turn everything off and start all over again, so this doesn't happen. Okay, propane and charcoal grills must only be used outdoors. If they're used indoors or any enclosed spaces such as tents, if you're out camping, or in your RV, if you're out in an RV park, you pose both a fire hazard and the risk of exposing anybody in that area to toxic gases and potential asphyxiation, meaning you're going to displace the oxygen in that area. Position the grill well enough from siding, deck railings, and out from under eaves and overhanging branches. Don't forget about what's above you. It's always, you can be as safe as you want to think you are, and it's like, I'm gonna put it right here. There's nothing combustible. What's over you? Is your porch over you? Do you have a tree overhanging the grill? You have to think about that, because heat rises, and as that grill gets hotter and hotter and hotter, it's going to start heating up the stuff above you. Place the grill a safe distance from lawn games, play areas, and foot traffics. Keep children and pets away from the grill area. Declare a 3-foot safe zone. Now, you don't have to go so far as to put out cones and rope it off, and this is my safe zone. Just tell kids to stay away while you're grilling. Only have the adults mess with the grill and the propane. Put out several long-handled grilling tools to give the chef, which is you, plenty of clearance from heat and flames while flipping your burgers. So you don't want to use a short fork to get in there, because now you are getting as close as you can to the fire. Get yourself some long grilling implements that keep you farther away. Periodically remove grease or fat buildup in the trays below so it cannot ignite by a hot grill. This is, I'll tell you right now, I'll be honest with you, this is one of the areas that I struggle with a lot. Cleaning my grill. I can't count how many times I've been barbecuing, and then you got that little fire that starts in the pan below, and it just makes everything else catch on fire. Clean your grill. Okay, that's the best way to keep your cooking safe and controlled. Extinguish a charcoal grill by closing the lid. Warm charcoal can reignite and start a fire while your family is sleeping or away. Now we're talking about charcoal grills right here. On a propane, just closing the lid is not going to put it out because it's gas fed. So you're going to have to shut off the propane bottle. So, check the gas cylinder hose for leaks before using it for the first time each year. Okay, those hoses are rubber. They're about the size of your pinky. Okay, and they can deteriorate over the year. Gets hot, gets cold, gets hot, gets cold. And it starts getting weathered and cracked. If that happens, all you have to do is just buy a new hose for it. There's no chance in taking the risk for it. A light soap and water solution applied to the hose will quickly reveal if you have any leaks by forming little bubbles. If you determine your grill has a leak by smell or the soapy bubble test, and there's no flame, turn it off. Don't use it, get it fixed before you use it. If the leak stops, get the grill serviced by a professional before using it again. If the leak does not stop, say you're testing your hose, you're doing everything that you're supposed to do, but the leak does not stop, call the fire department. We'll be the ones to come and we'll take care of the issue for you. Okay, so now let's start the grill. What are we going to do? Open your gas grill before relighting it. Don't do it with the lid closed. Why don't we do this with the lid closed? Okay, so here's what we got to do. We get ready to grill. We have to turn on our propane tank, okay? We check to make sure we don't have any leaks. Okay, great, but the lid is closed. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and light the burners and get this thing nice and hot inside. I turn on my gas and hit the little igniter switch. I heard it. Okay, yeah, it must be going. What happens if it doesn't light? What you're doing is just pumping raw propane into a closed environment. And so what's going to happen if you suddenly open it up, all it's going to do is it's going to get air and then it's just going to explode. If you smell gas while cooking, immediately get away from the grill, call the fire department, and don't attempt to move the grill. Just leave it right where it's at. Use only equipment with the label of a recognized testing laboratory and set it up per the instructions. Don't modify it in any way. It's not meant to be that way. Okay, remember what we talked about earlier? We talked about clean your gas grill after each use. This will remove grease that can cause a fire. Propane tanks and other fuels. You should use caution when storing your propane tank. Always keep the canisters upright. Never store a spare tank under or near the grill or indoors. And never store or use flammable liquids like gasoline near the grill. So let me tell you how propane tanks work. You have the big propane tank that you use, whatever size you use. Well, when you get it from Circle K, Safeway, wherever you get it from your replacement tank, they don't fill it up all the way. It's not all the way to the top. It's only filled to a certain portion of that tank. So you're thinking, well, I'm getting ripped off. I paid $30 to get this propane tank. No, it's that way for a reason. Propane is a compressed gas. And what they have to allow that gas to expand as the container heats and cools. So if it heats up, that gas is going to expand and take up that empty area. And as it cools down, it'll cool back down into a liquid and leave that extra space. In fact, you don't want it full all the way because as soon as it starts getting warm, it's going to overpressurize, and these things have a relief valve, and the relief valve will go off and spray propane everywhere. Okay, be sure your propane tank has an overfill protection device. All of them do. After 2002, they're all built in to this little nozzle right here. That's where you hook your little hose in for your grill, but on the other side, there is a relief valve that is gonna pop out and expel that extra pressure if it gets too heated. All tanks are sold or refilled are required to have this particular device. Never keep a filled tank in a hot car or trunk. Seen people do this over and over and over again. Heat is going to cause the gas pressure to increase in this bottle, which will open the relief valve, and now you've just released a bunch of propane into your vehicle or the trunk. And all it has to do is find an ignition source, and it'll explode and come right back towards the tank. Okay, charcoal grilling. Some people like to go old school. Some people like to keep, I'm just going to do the regular grill. I'm not going to go the whole gas route. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. They're pretty simple and easy to use, but there are a lot of safety factors that you need to keep in mind when dealing with charcoal. Purchase proper starter fluid. And I'll tell you right now, gasoline is not a proper starter fluid. Okay? Starter fluid is, because it is a different composition than gasoline. Gasoline's flash point is way, way too low for you to use it. charcoal starter fluid when coals are kindling or have already been ignited. And never use any flammable or combustible liquid other than charcoal starter fluid to get the fire going. I've seen this, and I'll tell you right now, when I was younger, I did it as well until I learned better. You start your charcoal going, and it's not going fast enough. It's taking forever, and you want to get it going. Come on, put some more charcoal lighter on there. And you spray charcoal lighter on there to get it going again. You're not actually getting your charcoal going any faster. All you're doing is burning the fuel, because the fuel's going to burn first before it gets to the charcoal. And you have a tendency for the fire to travel back up that lighter fluid stream back into that canister of lighter fluid that you're holding in your hands. Charcoal and other solid fuel grills were involved in about 1,400 fires last year, including 600 structure fires and 700 outside fires. So even though these are simple, easy to use, easy to maintain, they can still cause fires. The leading cause of the structure fires was that this was placed too close to something that could burn. A apartment balcony, your porch, your house, the outside lawn furniture, anything. Okay, so here's some important numbers to remember. If you have a problem with your barbecue grill at any time, you can call Coolidge Fire at 911 or 723-6019. Or you can call our dispatch at 723-5311 or 723-6505. And I want to thank you for joining